In this video, we're going to be talking about 3 do's and don'ts for creating with cardboard. That's a total of 6 tips to help you be more prepared the next time you want to make something. Hello, my name's Eli Tennant with MakerBrain, helping you access and implement your creativity. And on this channel, I do tutorial and idea videos as well as tips just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Alright, getting started off with some of those don'ts, things you shouldn't be doing with cardboard is, number 1, don't freehand what should be measured. I know it's really tempting sometimes just to quick freehand out a line because it isn't super essential and then you'll be done with it faster, right? Well, usually that's actually not the case because having your part fit wrong isn't worth the time that you saved by avoiding getting a ruler. So what I mean is, you might save a little bit of time by freehanding out a part, but then you might have to remake it all over again because it didn't fit right because you freehanded it wrong. So you don't want to have to remake it, just get a ruler. Don't number 2 is don't use the wrong tool for the job. Now this seems kind of obvious, but it sneaks into areas where you might not expect it. For example, using scissors to cut cardboard. So scissors work really well in some scenarios because they make nice tight cuts and you can like go around circles pretty well. Although when you're cutting thicker cardboard, you run into the problem where they kind of crimp down the edges and rip it. That's an example of using the wrong tool for the job if you don't want those crimped down, ripped edges. Using the wrong tool for a job could also simply be using a bad tool. So that could be like a dull knife. That happens a lot and that just makes everything more frustrating. Alright, for the last don't number 3 is don't use hot glue for everything. Now, I have definitely done this before, I do it a lot. Hot glue just seems so versatile. I'm like, hey, use hot glue for this, use hot glue to build up this hole, and it's kind of a fast fix because hot glue dries fast, you don't need to go get up and find something else. So, although it might work quickly, very similar to using the wrong tool for the job, hot glue is not always the correct tool to be using to solve some creative problem. Some examples here are, you don't want to use hot glue for like very large flat surfaces because by the time you lay down all that hot glue and then stick another surface on top of it, some of it's already going to be cured and dried and then it's not going to be sticking together. Another example of using hot glue the wrong way is to like fill in holes. I've done this before where I made a hole too big and then I wanted to fill it in a little bit with hot glue. Now the issue there is hot glue just kind of droops and it doesn't work very well. So it's better to find maybe like a piece of paper and some super glue. You could like wind that around the inside of the hole to try and make that hole smaller instead of using hot glue. And lastly, hot glue just doesn't look very nice. Of like most glues, hot glue does not look great when it's like on an exterior surface. Everybody can tell it's hot glue and it just doesn't look professional. So this brings us to like a bonus don't, and that is just don't be lazy. You gotta often get up when you're creating. Get up and go find the right tool. Get up and get the correct glue, or go get up and do something. Yes, you're gonna have to get on your feet while you're creating. So you're gonna usually spend more time trying to find a way around the problem with the tools that you have rather than like going to the garage and finding the extra one. You don't want to just sit there trying to accomplish something with your tiny little knife when you could get a saw from somewhere else. So there are the don'ts with cardboard, but what are some of the things that you should do with cardboard? Now this whole channel is kind of dedicated to what you should do with cardboard. That's a big focus, and so I'll link some videos down in the description here, but this is just going to be some really general things that you should pay attention to when working with cardboard with just about anything that you're making. And do number 1, things you're supposed to do with cardboard, is pay attention to the grain of the cardboard. You need to constantly be thinking about this. Which direction is the grain going? How is that going to strengthen my model? Because the grain is stronger in some directions than others. And how is it going to look? Is it going to look ugly to have that like long opening on the side of the grain? Or do I want the look of the wavy part? Because it can look cool sometimes if you use the grain in the correct way, but some things just simply won't work if you use the grain in the wrong way, and that's just going to cause a lot of frustration. So pay attention to the grain of the cardboard. Alright, number 2, the second thing you're supposed to do with cardboard, just in general, is use more than just normal cardboard. So you can use different thicknesses of cardboard. You've got like that double thick cardboard you can use for like really strong stuff, or you can go down to that like almost like cereal box cardboard, almost just like one layer, and then that's good for your nice like thin things, maybe something you want to bend. And you don't just have to stay with cardboard and different types of cardboard. You can use pre-existing shapes. I love to do this in my cardboard models and stuff because it's just so easy. You can use like pens, especially for like bearings and moving parts. You can use like plastic stuff, you chop it right up. I've used Pringles cans, toilet paper rolls. You can use wire, that's really good for like thin stuff. There's just things all over you. Just take a look around, take a look in like your recyclables bin and see what you could use that's like already manufactured and made, and just reuse it into your model. And the third do is batch cut outlines. So this might not apply to quite all of your cardboard models, but often when you're working with cardboard, you need to make a lot of outlines. Maybe you're making like the left and the right of something, or you're making like a lot of the same thing, like you're making like a board, a modular board to something, and you just want lots of the same thing. Or maybe you gotta like stack the cardboard and you're making it thicker, so you need the same shape repeated over and over again to get it thick. But what you want to do is batch produce those outlines. So you want to dimension and cut out one outline, or dimension all of them, and then you can cut them all out at the same time. This also helps with the do number one. The first thing I wanted you to pay attention to, the grain of the cardboard. When you batch produce these outlines, it's easier to pay attention to the grain of the cardboard when you're just doing it all at once. It's easy to forget if you like cut out the left side, glue it all on, and then you quick want to go and cut out the right side. It's easy to forget which direction, how you cut out that left one, how to make them like the same, because otherwise it's going to look kind of funny to have the grain going in a different direction. So yeah, batch cut out those outlines. So a quick tip for that is you can just cut out one, make sure it's nice and exactly how you want it. Then you can trace that over and over again and cut out a whole bunch more really rapidly, and that helps your productivity, save time while you're making stuff. All right, one more quick bonus do is don't be too worried about making your cardboard models perfect. There's a quote that goes, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So I would watch like 5-Minute Crafts and these channels and creators that have been working with cardboard for like ever, and all the cardboard models like worked perfectly, like they could make anything out of cardboard, and then I tried to like follow that and it didn't really make sense, and then like my cardboard models would hardly even work. And then when I added like my own creativity, often that worked a little better. They still wouldn't look amazing, but it still was fun, as opposed to trying to follow more of a grid. So just have fun while you're making cardboard and just enjoy doing your own thing. And that's kind of what this channel is for too. It's instructional videos showing you how to do it, but add your own creativity and have fun doing it. Alright, so that is 6 tips for working with cardboard. Remember the 3 don'ts and the 3 do's. Don't number 1 is don't freehand what should be measured. Don't number 2 is don't use the wrong tool for the job. And don't number 3 is don't use hot glue for everything. Now that might seem kind of obvious, but it's important to remember. And now the 3 do's are pay attention to the grain of the cardboard, use more than just normal cardboard, implement all things around you, and then batch cut out your outlines to increase your productivity. Question of the day. What is one do or don't that you have for working with cardboard? Shout it out in the comments below, and I would love to hear from you. If you got value out of this, the best way to show me is to smash the like button or share it with a friend. And if you want to see the latest upload by MakerBrain, you can check that out right here. And if you want to see the video that YouTube thinks is best for you, you can click or tap it right there. And I'll see you next time.